Gotcha. And speaking of enlightenment, what does the hero's journey look like in your story? And then how do you continue the hero's journey in different ways throughout the series?
So, the hero's journey throughout the series is she's going to become mentally healthy. That's her path to
Mm,
enlightenment, right? So, it's all about her growing as a person, and that's how she progresses. That's how she gets stronger. That's how she gets to her maximum potential, which is limitless, right? So, that, and then also each individual arc, each book is going to have her make a realization and conquer those traumatic experiences and responses to those traumatic experiences. But I've already made a decision that by the end of the novel, she's not going to get rid of, and she's not going to be cured of all the traumatic responses, because that's unrealistic. Because as we get to a point where we heal, the responses don't go away. We manage them better, and I think that is the key to creating a believable, real character. And part of reading a book and part of watching a TV series, which a lot of people have a problem with doing, right, in my opinion, is that they don't suspend their disbelief, right? So when you're watching or reading a book, it's easier when you're reading a book because it's a lot more in detail and explained. But when you suspend your disbelief, you take what you believe to be true and you just let it go, and you immerse yourself into the laws of nature in this world that you're watching, and you believe it because that's how it was written, right? So
right.
other than that, like I feel like a lot of people, like with the Fast and Furious series, they went to space or something in a car, and that, to me, like when I watch a movie, I simply just watch to enjoy it. But people are like, well, how do they, like, movies are and books are for entertainment and lessons and learning, and if you're going to constantly question their laws of physics and gravity, then what's the point of what's the point of watching it, in my opinion?
Yeah, I think for us as readers, I think we want to hear a cohesive story. And I remember there was this film writer. He said like the key to storytelling is telling lies with no holes in them. So like we're okay with the car going to the moon if it makes sense for why it's going to the moon, right? Or if it has the same integrity throughout the story. But when people just try to throw things into a story and you're just like, wait, why is that happening now? And that doesn't make sense back here. Now your brain, like you don't want to get taken, like the reason he says tell lies with no holes in it is like when you have a hole in the lie, it takes you out of the storytelling. And now you're sitting there as a reader or as a viewer saying, wait, that doesn't make sense there. What happened there? Are they gonna pay off this? At least within a series, you can let things go away because you're like, all right, it might come back in book two, it might come back in book three. But when it comes to like we're kind of talking about finishing stories in that first one so you can see it, we don't I think readers struggle with the idea of like why did this happen and how did it not get solved or why what's going on. I think that's where the reader and the viewer gets taken out of stories.
If you enjoyed that clip, make sure you head over to www.bookupapp.com to download our app so you can connect with your favorite bookish content creators, start conversations, and start your own book club.